Good morning. Today we're in Exodus 26, 27, and 28. Exodus chapter 26. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, with cherubims of cunning work shalt thou make them. The length of one curtain shall be 8 and 20 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and the other one of the curtains shall have one measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And thou shalt make loops of blue upon the edge of one curtain from the selvage and the coupling, and the likewise shalt thou make in the uttermost edge of the other curtain, in the coupling of the second. 50 loops shalt thou make in one curtain, and 50 loops shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is in the coupling of the second, that the loops may take hold one of another. And thou shalt make 50 taches of gold, and couple the curtains together with the taches, and it shall be one tabernacle. And thou shalt make curtains of goat hairs to be upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and the 11 curtains shall be all one measure. And thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is the outmost of the coupling, and 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which coupleth the second. And thou shalt make 50 taches of brass, and put the taches on the loops, and to couple the tent together, that it may be one. And the remnant that remaineth of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remaineth, shall hang over the backside of the tabernacle. And a cubit on one side, a cubit on the other side, which remaineth in the length of the curtains of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side, and on that side to cover it. And thou shalt make a covering for the tent around, skin dyed red, and a covering of the badger skin. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. The 10 cubits shall be the length of the board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board, set in one order against one another. Thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards on the south side southward. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And then for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side there shall be 20 boards. And there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, 2 sockets under another. And for the sides of the tabernacle went westward, thou make 6 boards. And 2 boards shall make for the corners of the tabernacle and the 2 sides, that they shall be coupled together beneath, and it shall be coupled together above the head of it into one ring. Thus shall it be for them both, that they shall be for the 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards under 2 sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, 2 sockets under another board. And thou shalt make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle. 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle, and 2 for the sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the board shall reach from end to end, and shall overlay the boards with gold, and make the rings for gold for places for bars. And thou shalt overlay the bars with gold. And thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which I was showed thee in the mount. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen of cunning work, which cherubim shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold, upon the 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang upon the veil under the taches, that thou mayest bring in thither within the veil of the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And thou shalt set the table without the veil, and the candlestick over against the table of the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And thou shalt put the table on the north side. And thou shalt make a hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And thou shalt make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and their hooks shall be of gold, and thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. Exodus 27, and thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long, 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make horns upon it for 4 corners. The horn shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass. And thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof shalt thou make of brass. And thou shalt make it for a grate of network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make it 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And thou shalt make the staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put into the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. And thou shalt make the cord of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for a cord of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side. And the 20 pillars thereof and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side and the length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars and the 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and the fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the cord on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The breadth of the cord on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hanging of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the gate of the court shall be a hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework, and their pillars shall be 4, and the sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filled with silver, their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle and the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, all the pins of the court, shall be of brass. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure olive oil, beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. In the tabernacle of the congregation, without the veil which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on behalf of the children of Israel. Exodus 28, and take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest office, even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a bordered coat, a mitre, a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his son, that he may minister unto me in the priest office. And they shall take gold, and blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, of purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the 2 edges thereof, and it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, of purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou take 2 onyx stones, and grave them on the names of the children of Israel, 6 on their names on one stone, and the other 6 names on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, thou shalt engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders for ephod, the sons of the memorial of the children of Israel. And Aaron shall bear the names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work, and after the work of the ephod shalt thou make of it: gold and purple, and of scarlet and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 square it shall be, It shall be doubled, a span of the length shall be there, and a span of the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set it in the steadings of stone, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be sardius, topaz, a carbuncle, and this shall be the first row. The second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row a beryl, and onyx, and jasper, and they shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engraving of a signet. Every one with his name, they shall be according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the end of the wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put 2 wreathen chains of gold in 2 rings, which are on the end of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains shalt thou fasten in the 2 ouches, and thou shalt put shoulder pieces on the ephod before them. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And the other 2 rings of gold shalt thou make, and shalt put them over on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against the coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof, and to the rings of ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate must not be loosed from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart. And when he goeth in into the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually, and thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim that be upon Aaron's heart. And when he goes in before the Lord, and Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. And thou shalt make the robe of ephod all of blue, and there shall be a hole atop of it, in the midst thereof, and there shall have a binding of a woven work round about the whole of it, if it were a hole of a habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath them the hem of it shall make a pomegranates of blue and a purple and a scarlet, round and about the hem thereof, and the bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in into the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, and the gravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon mine altar. That the forefront of the mitres it shall be, and it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things which the children of Israel shall hallow in their holy gifts. And it shall always be upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make of the mitre fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's son thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shall anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins of even thy thighs shall thou reach. And they shall be upon Aaron, upon his sons, and when they come in into the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die, it shall be a statute forever unto him and to his seed after him.